Oh man.
What?
This is big.
What?
Megalodon. After leaving Ohio, we had been unsure of where to go next. I'd been combing through the news and looking for possible creatures to investigate, but nothing was really jumping out at me. Until this morning, I noticed a new post on Monsters Den from someone claiming to have seen a megalodon.
That's a big shark, right?
Yes. They were the biggest sharks that ever lived.
Extinct, I assume?
Yeah, but it's never stopped a cryptid before.
Okay, go on then.
Well, Twisted Crypt 141 just posted about it. He says he saw one.
Someone on your message board?
Yeah.
Don't you think the people on there might be a little more likely to let their imagination get the better of them? He probably saw a killer whale or something. Not that that wouldn't be exciting, but it's no cryptid.
Normally I would agree with you, but not this guy. Total skeptic. Whenever other people talk about their sightings, he's always trying to come up with rational explanations for them. He was always one of David's biggest supporters, trying to convince people we were full of crap.
Oh, okay. So then where would this megalodon be? If it's a shark, I'm guessing one of the oceans.
No. Well, yeah, technically. It's the Gulf of California, but it does connect to the Pacific.
Lucas, California is so far away. Can't we find something a little closer to investigate first?
It's not California State. It's in Mexico. You know south of California, that really long peninsula on the west coast of Mexico? It's in there. And come on, this happened yesterday. We have to go.
But don't you hate boats?
Mia, it's a megalodon. A huge friggin' shark. I don't care how sick it makes me. I want to see a giant shark.
Well, gee, how can I argue against solid logic like that?
We began the long drive across the country. It wasn't any further than we had driven in our time together, but we had never traveled this far all at once. We broke the journey up over the course of a few days because going straight there without stopping would have just been insufferable. After calling it a day in San Diego, we woke the next morning and drove south, finally crossing the border into Mexico.
So, do we have anything else to go on besides this one sighting?
Sort of. The Gulf is home to legends of a creature called El Demonio Negro.
The Black Demon?
The Black Demon. Now, having said that, I can't really find any solid reports. Most articles I could find that even mention it are just a sentence or two, and they all pretty much say, fishermen in the Sea of Cortez tell stories of a giant shark they call the Black Demon. That's it.
The Sea of Cortez?
It's just another name for the Gulf of California. I don't know why, but for some reason, every article I found referred to it as the Sea of Cortez. Maybe it sounds more, I don't know, romantic, adventurous? Who knows? Anyway, the only recorded sighting I could find was from a guy named Eric Mack. In 2008, he claimed that a gigantic shark rocked his boat while he was out fishing. He claimed to have seen a tail fin sticking 5 feet out of the water.
And you think it's megalodon? Not just an extra-large gray white or something?
I guess that's equally possible. But whatever it is, it's probably not restricted to the Gulf. Over the past century, there have been a handful of sightings of giant sharks from all over the globe. So there's either a bunch of giant sharks, or this one gets around. You still with me?
Huh? Oh, yeah, sorry. Just looking at the beaches.
Thinking we should have a beach day after this investigation?
You know it.
We finally ended up in a town called Loretto. Our first goal was to meet up with Kevin Lilly, aka Twisted Crypt 141. He was staying in a local hotel.
This is nice. Why don't we stay in places like this?
Because then we'd go broke.
I know.
Lucas? Mia?
Yeah, Kevin?
Hi. I can't believe you guys came all this way just to see me.
I didn't want to, but Lucas really wants to see a megalodon.
Guilty. So, tell us everything. I know you wrote about it online, but...
For the recording, yeah. Well, so, I'm on vacation with my family right now, and we had actually rented a helicopter to get a scenic tour of the Gulf.
Jeez. Sorry, that sounds awesome.
So for most of the time, we were flying along the coast. There were a lot of boats, and docks, and beaches, so it was pretty easy to get a sense of scale compared to how high up we were. Anyway, at one point, we headed over the ocean. I saw this gigantic dark shape in the water. I don't know how far below the surface it was, so I can't really give an accurate size estimate, but it was definitely huge.
And you don't think it could have just been a whale?
No way! I did think it was a whale at first, but the shape wasn't right.
You could tell just from the silhouette?
Yeah, the tail.
Oh, right. Whales have horizontal tails and sharks are vertical, right?
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Well, nothing happened after that. We were in a helicopter. I didn't want to ask the pilot just to go down so we get a better look. Didn't want to scare my kids either.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you haven't seen anything else since then?
Nah, we've been sticking to the beaches. I'd rather not run into something that big again.
Alright, well, thanks for the help.
Yeah, of course. Oh, and, Lucas?
Yeah?
Just wanted to say, sorry for the way I've been treating you on Monsters Den. I always thought you guys were hoaxers, putting way too much effort into your show. But between cat squatches, change of heart, and now seeing, well, whatever I saw, I'm starting to believe you. At least, I'm starting to believe there really could be some crazy things out there.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. The next day, we rented a boat and began our search for the Black Demon in earnest. Kevin could only give a general estimate of the area they were in when he saw it, but it was as good a starting point as any.
Still think this'll be worth it?
It will be. Ugh. Still no vibes or anything?
Nothing. If there really is a cryptid out here, I haven't sensed it.
Returning to shore after an unsuccessful day, we settled in to eat dinner, which was interrupted by a message from Kevin telling me to check the news. Oh my god.
What?
There is definitely a megalodon here, or giant shark, whatever. Kevin was right.
What's going on?
Hold on, still reading. A yacht went missing.
A yacht?
Not a big one from the looks of it, but yeah, a yacht. A family was out vacationing, and they haven't been seen or heard from in over a day now. See?
Oh my god, Lucas, that yacht is bigger than the boat we were on today. This could have been us.
What? No, you would have sensed it before it got that close.
My powers aren't that dependable.
It turned out that the boat had most likely gone missing the previous night. Following a hunch, I asked Kevin what time of day his sighting had been, and he said it was around dusk. I was starting to think that the creature was nocturnal, which meant we would be up late. We took a short nap and went back out once the sun was down. Mia now refused to get back on a boat for this investigation, so we were going to start by exploring the coastlines.
I know I usually indulge in your ideas, but we're looking for a sea creature. From land, at night. How exactly do you expect to find anything out here?
I don't know, just start meditating or whatever. Really turn up your mental searchlights.
I'll try, but I'm not making any promises. It won't be my fault if we don't find anything.
I mean, could have gone back out on the water.
Okay, let me rephrase that. It will be my fault that we don't get shipwrecked and eaten by a giant shark. You think it's okay to keep Fritz up this late?
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Just imagine if she gets tired enough to let us sleep in tomorrow.
Okay, that does sound nice.
We continued exploring, fruitlessly, for about 2 hours. At least until Mia stopped dead in her tracks. What's up? Do you sense something?
Yeah. Come on, this way.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like... Shit. Fuck.
As we approached the direction Mia had indicated, we realized we could hear the voices of at least a dozen people chanting in unison. Familiar words. We had found the Leviathan cult. Oh my god, they said they were going to California, and we're looking for a giant sea monster. How did I not make the connection?
We need to get out of here before Quentin senses me again.
Wait, is he what you sensed? Is that what led us here?
I don't think so. There's something else.
Is that another deep one?
Looks like it.
What are they saying? As we approached close enough to see and hear what was happening, we found ourselves faced with an image we were now all too familiar with. We saw the cult gathered around a deep one of the ichthyanthropes. It was crouched down, feeding on the unmoving shape of a person that had doubtlessly just been sacrificed.
Brothers and sisters, I bring you the news we have long awaited. The messenger that stands here before you has seen the glorious Leviathan. The hour of transfiguration is at hand. Our long journey is finally at an end. We begin at dawn.
Shit.
That doesn't sound good.
Whatever they're doing is gonna happen tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Do you think the black demon is the Leviathan they've been worshipping? We had been so fixated on the scene unfolding before us that we failed to notice the cultists who had snuck around and behind us. I'm not going to play the rest of the audio, but I'll just say that we ended up bound and gagged with bags or hoods covering our heads. At threat of knife point, we were forced to walk for quite some time before finally being shoved down onto a floor, at which point our legs were tied up. Our captors then left the room, closing a door behind them. At this point, we noticed that the floor was rocking slightly. It seemed that we had ended up on a boat. We were left alone for, as best as we could tell, a few hours. We finally heard figures moving around and talking nearby, but we couldn't really make anything out. When we heard the door to our room open again, it was followed by a single set of footsteps. The person that was now in the room with us removed our hoods, and as our eyes adjusted to the light, we saw Quentin standing before us. Behind him, on the far side of the room, were 4 bodies, 2 adults, and 2 children. The floor around them was dark with blood, and through the windows, we could see ocean all around us.
Is this still recording? Yes? Good. I think I'd like a copy. For posterity. Sorry, where are my manners? Lucas, right? We never were properly introduced. My name's Quentin. And Mia! I have got to say, I did not expect to see you again. Coincidence? Maybe, although I prefer to think of it as fate. Now that we are so close to the Leviathan, he's seen fit that you join us. Which does make sense. Your gift would have been such a waste, if not put into service glorifying his greatness. So consider this a welcome. And you two have joined just in time. We have a yacht now. That was a joke. I apologize for the restraints, but I know you don't quite understand yet. Don't worry though. You will. Very shortly.
As Quentin left the room, robed figures entered, ignoring us, and took the bodies in front of us out of the room. As best as we could tell, we were currently on the back end of a yacht, and judging from the dead bodies, it was the same yacht that had been reported missing. The figures made their way to the front of the yacht to join the rest of the cult, out of sight but still within earshot.
The time is finally here. As the endless water feeds us, we too must feed the endless water. The Leviathan has seen fit to provide for us, and it is finally time to give our thanks. Now then, who would do us the great honor of beginning their ascension first?
I'd like to, sir, to redeem myself.
Jacob, my brother, My right hand. Nothing would please me more. Here, take the dagger. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Fear not, brother. The Leviathan awaits us all.
Praise be the endless water.
Wonderful. Praise be indeed. Who will do us the honor of following Brother Jacob?
I'm ready, sir.
Sister Rose, it would be my deepest honor to allow you the privilege of going next.
Praise be the endless water.
One more, I think, before we begin the summoning. Brother James. Excellent.
Praise be the endless water.
As the endless water feeds, we feed the endless water. As the endless water feeds, we feed the endless water. As the endless water feeds, we feed the endless water. As the endless water feeds, we feed the endless water. As the endless water feeds, we feed the endless water. As the endless water feeds, we feed the endless water.
By the time the cult had started chanting, we had managed to maneuver ourselves up onto our knees, and we were just barely high enough to see out of the nearest window. The bodies of the yacht's previous occupants, as well as those cultists that had sacrificed themselves, were now being cut into roughly even pieces and tossed into the water. It was almost like chum. After a few more minutes of increasingly frenzied chanting, Quentin fell to his knees. The crowd, as one, stopped instantly. At the same time, Mia, though still gagged, let out a gasp. And a moment later, a massive black fin began to break the surface of the water.
We have hundreds more sacrifices prepared for you, my lord. And they are close. So very close. Praise be the Leviathan!
Praise be the Leviathan!
Cryptid Cases has been a production of Little Giant Monsters.
If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a review on iTunes or tell a friend. It really helps others find the show.
If you'd like to follow us on social media, search for Little Giant Monsters on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can also visit our website, littlegiantmonsters.com.
Check out any of these pages to see other projects we're working on, as well as a new cryptid sketch every Monday after the new episode.
Thanks for listening, and see you again soon.